YouTube, welcome to my channel. I'm Brianna J, and this video will be about making the decision to separate from the military. So I decided to separate from the military over a year ago. I have not been to a military separation brief yet, but I just thought about a few things and wanted to share them with you all, just in case you're in the same situation as me and have a few gray areas that need to be cleared up. So keep in mind that I'm basing these things off as a single woman. If you're married or if you are a single parent, there may be a lot more matters that you have to take care of. I have thoroughly enjoyed my military career, and with that being said, it's okay if you're deciding to separate from it, as long as you go about things the right way. So first things first, you want to decide and understand why you want to separate. You don't want to base your decision that will affect you for the rest of your life on outside influences such as a bad supervisor, or maybe you're not happy with your location, your duty location at the moment, or maybe you just don't like your job. Those things can change in the future if you play your cards right. So don't base you wanting to separate for something that can change in the future. After you have figured out why you're wanting to separate, and it's because of you and it's going to make you a happier person, or it matches with your future, you want to discuss these things with people you love, people you care about, and get their opinion and their feedback, because it might help you. And after you figure out why you want to separate, you need to make sure it's the right time. Timing is everything, you guys. And you might need to wait another enlistment before you cut all ties with the military. And that's okay. I wanted to make sure financially I would be okay. Maybe, I want to fatten up my savings account or pay off my car, or maybe you want to pay off all of your credit cards. Those, that's smart. That's thinking smart. And I can tell you firsthand that I wanted to make sure my car note was paid off. I had I didn't owe any of my credit card bills. After you figured out timing is best. Oh, and I wanted to say, if you're sick, you definitely want to make sure that you have everything taken care of before you get out, because it is costly. Health insurance in America is very expensive, and if you can't afford the proper care your body needs, you might want to wait a little bit longer. And that's just how it is, unfortunately. So after you have figured out that the timing is best, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go to school, or are you gonna work? That's something that a lot of people don't think about. I cannot tell you guys how many times people like, girl, I'm just gonna get out, and I ask, well, what are you gonna do? And they're like, I don't know. Y'all, don't be one of those people. So if you're wanting to go to school, there are benefits that we receive as a military member, such as your post 9/11 GI Bill. So what that does is it allows you to go to school, and they pay a portion or all of your school if it's a public institution, all of the tuition and fees included in your at that particular school. Along with paying for your tuition, they cover your housing allowance. Now, depending on the area, it may be $1,200 to like $3,000 in some areas. I know for me, that was the range that I was looking at. So after you have figured out what your post 9/11 bill will cover and what your allowance will be, you need to figure out how you'll be able to live as a full-time student. If you're gonna go to your parents' house, make sure it's okay. don't drop the bomb on them as soon as you get out, like, oh, by the way, parents, I need a place to crash. If you're moving into an apartment, you need to figure out not only the monthly, the monthly expenses, how much is the application fee? What are the qualifications and what documents will you need to have in order to stay at whatever apartment complex you're going to move to? What will the commute be like for you traveling to and from school? As a full-time student, you don't want to be driving across the town, across the city, spending all of your money on gas. And what if your car breaks down? You need to have access to public transportation until you're able to pay for a new car. These are all of the things you want to worry about, because being a student is going to be stressful, and you want to limit the amount of stress you have to worry about. And if you're going into if you're going to work right after you separate from the military, that coincides with getting to and from your job. What happens if your car breaks down? You want to think about those type of things. Along with the job, you need to check what the job market is like for the position you're going to go into. What I did was I looked at about 5 different positions that kind of matched with what I do in the military now. And I checked for what they, wanted in the applicants. All of them wanted a bachelor's degree. They wanted experience in an office environment. They wanted you to be a team player. They wanted you to have, experience in Microsoft applications. These are the kind of things you want to look for when you're looking at these job qualifications and these job positions. Because if you can't bring that to the table, it's time for you to add to your resume, so you can be comfortable when you're interviewing for that position. So along with the job market and finding the positions that match well with what you're doing in the military at the present time, is making sure the pay matches with what, with the job you're going to be doing. If they're trying to pay you, $10 an hour, and you have a bachelor's degree and you have 6 to 8, 10 years of experience, then something is wrong. And in some areas, what they pay might be higher in other places, if that makes sense. So I know for Charleston, the percentage is about 20% less than other areas that I'm looking into moving to. So you just want to make sure that the job market is paying decent for your position, and that there will be open jobs for your desired position. Because if not, if that's not the case, then relocating will be your best option. And I know a lot of people want to stay local because they have ties to the community. They know so many people there, that they were stationed with, but that might not be the best option all the time. So you definitely want to think about that. Next, deciding if you want to fully separate yourself from the military or becoming a reservist is something else you're going to have to think about. I can tell y'all personally, I thought long and hard about becoming a reservist, and all I can tell you is to weigh your pros and cons and speak with a recruiter, about those, those pros and cons, so you can, understand what life as a reservist is like. Although from what I've heard, it's completely different than active duty, you still want to make sure that fits your lifestyle once you get out. So those are some of the things that I thought about to help me decide if separating was the best option for right now and for my future. I hope the things that I mentioned cleared up some gray areas that you may have. If I said anything wrong or if I confused you guys, please let me know down below, and I will be sure to clarify myself a little bit more and point you into the right direction if it's something that I said incorrectly. Thank you so much for joining me as I transition into the civilian world. I have about less than 18 months before I chunk the military to deuce, and I'm completely excited on this new chapter in my life. So if you want to follow me as I become a civilian again, hit the subscribe button and follow me on all of my social media platforms. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.